Well, yes, Gemini, it's March 2015. I'm Dadhichi Toth from astrology.com.au with your monthly forecast. And the two significant lunations, the full moon this month on the 6th in the sign of Virgo, which happens to be your sign of domestics, family life, that sort of thing. And by the way, inner happiness. And the new moon, which takes place on the 20th in the sign of Pisces, which is your career zone. So this is interesting because when you look at life on a day-to-day basis, the aspect of career, our own personal happiness, etc., is often removed from the professional and career requirements. The tensions of that sort of domain is sort of like a balancing act that often happens between the two. And because we see that new moon taking place in the upper part of your horoscope, that's the career sector, and the new moon does often signal the start of a new phase, a whole new cycle for you, that it could be that you will be able to figure out just how to balance the professional and personal side of your life from here on in. That's not the only ramification of these lunations, but we do see that, for example, the new moon, along with the fact that the sun is, the new moon takes place when the moon conjoins the sun is up there in the upper part of your horoscope now, along with Neptune, indicating a very strong focus in that area of your life. And we have seen in previous months Venus, Mars also moving through this area. So you're still looking at ways to elevate yourself in that professional mode and to make sure that you secure for yourself something meaningful. And of course, if some of you heard the introduction that I did this month on the what of your life, the objective of your life, why a lot of people aren't happy. For you particularly right now, Gemini, this new moon in the career sector can signal a very important new phase beginning for you. Finding who you are in this universe, finding what it is that you really want to do. That is really 90% of the problem for most people. And having that new moon there can help, especially seeing as you've had that transit of Saturn in the 7th house most recently. That's really put the brakes on your, public relations, the relationship side of things, your most personal relationships, including marriage if you're married. And that is a very powerful right angle. We've seen the Sun moving into that right angle to Saturn recently. So there's tension there, balancing not just your profession and your domestic life, but the actual personal relationship. So there can be some divided loyalties during this particular phase. And notwithstanding the fact that you also have Neptune right there at the pinnacle of the horoscope, which shows that's your that's also your ego identity, your development of your sense of self. Neptune can cast a shadow over that and make it rather perplexing as to how to get from A to B, from where you are to where you want to be, from who you see yourself as to what that ideal of who you are is within your mind. And Saturn also has something to do with that, being in that 7th house, because the 7th house is other people, and it influences the rising sign, which is what we call the mask, or the identity we project into the world around us. So we can see that these factors are very much tied in with your professional objectives right now. And just to cut to the chase, the new moon on the 20th should be the start of a whole new process in coming to terms with that and bringing all those pieces of the jigsaw together. How people regard you, how you regard yourself, what it is you want to do, how you're going to achieve it, how to balance that against your personal and domestic affairs. So a lot there crammed into these few small aspects which aren't really that small when you look at it in the larger scheme of things. Now, starting the month, we see the triangular aspects of Jupiter to Uranus, Venus to Jupiter, Venus conjoining Uranus, and Venus in the right angle to Pluto, all taking place around the 3rd to the 5th of March in this first week. So by far the majority of those are, I guess, good aspects. With Uranus being involved in that, that does show us that we have, I guess, elements of surprise, unexpectedness, and that Venus being in the 11th house with Mars right now shows that there is a lot of drive right now. Against that backdrop of what I've just started your reading with, there is a strong focus on social activities, being with the people that you feel suit your temperament. And of course you need to surround yourself with people that are going to support you in your push to achieve happiness and satisfaction in your life. So let's take a look now also at the transits of Mars to Jupiter on the 10th, Mars to Uranus on the 12th. Again, those elements of surprise. That conjunction of Mars and Uranus can be rather explosive, being in the 11th house. That could usher in some rather problematic events with friends. It also has to do with siblings, those you consider, I guess, friends that are like siblings too. But any of those sort of people that fall into that category are likely to present you with an explosive situation. Arguments, fights, that type of thing. A shift back on the 13th when Mercury enters your 10th house. A lot of communication going to be taking place with your bosses, with your professional clients, and this can involve lots of emails and an understanding that using marketing and communications tools can be your ticket to success. You need to use that more effectively, and naturally the way you communicate your ideas, if you're selling or you're trying to present a case to someone in a superior position, then communication, the use of words is everything. A little bit of a slowing down period though with that around the 16th. So immediately after it enters into the 10th house, it shows that it's important for you to plan carefully, because the square of Saturn on the 16th leading up to that date shows that you may be absent-minded, forgetful, not really putting your sentences together, which sometimes happens to me when I'm doing this, hopefully not today on your reading. And that is important for you. You know, you can forget things that are vitally important in presenting your case. And that too around the 18th when Mercury enters into the conjunction with Neptune, and that's also in your 10th house. So that confusion, also that can signify deception, or not always purposeful deception, but you may inadvertently say something or mislead someone into believing something, and not through anything that you've done. Maybe you've heard some information. See, you need to scrutinize that before you pass it on. This could be the stuff that, you know, incredible rumors are made of. So be careful when you're talking and sharing information that you've received from third parties. The movement of Venus to your 12th house is an expensive one. That can be a luxurious transit. 12th house shows a lot of expenses, and Venus for you is indeed a friendly planet, but it may also indicate a need to spend a lot of money when you need to really be a little more watchful of that. The triangle of Sun to Saturn on the 26th and leading up to that shows that you're capable of shouldering any new responsibilities that are given to you, so that could tie in with that new moon on the 20th with some new opportunity in your work and the ability to take those responsibilities in your stride. Mercury moves to the 11th house, again accentuating your friendships and communications with friendships. Networking of all sorts can take place there, and that happens on the 31st and lasts till I see you next time for your April reading, which I hope you'll be here for that. In the meantime, do visit astrology.com.au for your daily, monthly and yearly readings in detail, along with lots of free readings, and of course our huge number of psychics, clairvoyants that are there to help you with any of your personal problems if you'd like to avail yourself of that. Take care now.